Hi there, my name is Christopher's Mamas and I'm an assistant professor at the Department of Education Studies here at UC San Diego. For the next 5 minutes, I will be talking to you about the social network analysis toolkit for higher education that my team and I have been developing for the past few months. There is substantial research evidence out there suggesting that relationships matter within education. This toolkit provides an innovative way to understand those relationships within classrooms, both in K-12 but higher education as well, aiming to improve higher education teaching practices and the inclusivity of education institutions such as a university. So this is a web-based toolkit, meaning that you don't have to install any software on your machine. And it allows you to analyze your classroom's social dynamics and understand and gain insights into those social relationships in a few simple steps. So first, I'm going to analyze those steps very shortly. So first, you have to create a profile and then register a class. This is the very first step. You provide some basic details to create the profile, and then you provide some more details in order to register your class. The next step is to add your students, because relational questions usually ask students to identify fellow students that they are friends with, they receive support from, or they receive advice, or they provide support and advice. It's really important to include those names into the toolkit so the students can then select their classmates. There are two ways of doing this. You cannot use students manually, as you can see on the screen, but you can also add an Excel file, because if you have many students, it may take some time to add them manually. So you can upload the Excel file with some of the demographics of your students that you may be interested in, for example, their gender or their disability status. You can then select some questions that we provide and we recommend, but actually those questions you see here are more appropriate for K-12, because we've been doing this work in K-12 as well. And you can also add your own question that you may be interested in. So you may be interested in knowing where your students receive advice when it comes to some academic matter. And when you select those questions, we would recommend up to a maximum of 4 relational questions. You can then generate a survey and you send a link to your students, as you would do on a SurveyMonkey platform or a Qualtrics platform. And here on the left-hand side, the students can select their name from the list. And I've selected my name, Christopher's Chris Mamas. And then on the right-hand side, the question is asking me to identify my classmates that are my friends. So I haven't selected the first name, but I selected Irene here. And as you can see, Irene is a very good friend of mine, because I gave her 3 stars. Then I've selected Giovanna and I gave her 2 stars. And Georgios, and I gave him 1 star, which means you can also capture the quality of the relationship. Then by clicking a button, the system will give us some visualizations for the networks in your class. So for example, this one is a friendships network within a classroom. The different colors show the different gender of the kids, in this case girls and boys on the right hand side. And the bigger the node size is, the more friendship nominations the child received, which we call in social network analysis in degree, but you don't really have to be used to this kind of terminology. What's important here is to identify our students who are centrally located in the network, and they may be brokers and maybe students who enable for resources and knowledge and advice to flow through the network. but perhaps it's also very important, even if more important, to identify those students who lie on the periphery of the network and they may need more support with their studies. Another thing we get through this toolkit is some social network analysis metrics. So, for example, how dense our network is, the degree, the in degree, the number of nominations received, and the out degree, the number of nominations sent from the kids between us, which shows the influence of the particular students on the network, and the closeness and centrality as well, which shows how close students are to each other. So if you think this is something useful for your everyday practice, we will be very happy to help you undertake this kind of social network analysis and provide a toolkit for you to implement within your classroom. So please feel free to get in touch with me. That's my email address, and I'd be very happy to spend some time with you to give you more details. Thank you so much.